Prof Ogallo. I work for IGAD Climate Prediction and Application Center. The center is expected to address challenges related to climate risk in all our sectors in the region. One of the activities we undertake at the beginning of the rainfall season is provide an outlook for the next 3 months, the likely scenarios in terms of floods and drought and the climate stress that could threaten the livelihood of the region. So this process is rotated between the member countries. We were in Entebbe 3 months ago. We are now in Sudan to release the outlook for June, July, August this year.
What are you discussing in this forum?
Over the last few years, it has been realized that no development can be achieved without integrated climate risk information in all aspects of development. And we are trying to demonstrate that it can be done by using 3 months forecast to be able to foretell what may be coming the next 3 months. Then we follow up with a monthly and daily update on whatever we happen. So basically what we are trying to do, will there be floods? I'd like to be dominance of drought in the next 3 months. Discuss with the various users how they think they could collectively take advantage of the information so that they can reduce the climate risks associated with their sectors.
Which are those countries that have major problems than others?
IGAD are 8 member countries, but in ICPAC we have 3 other member countries, Rwanda, Burundi and Tanzania. I don't think there's any country which does not have climate challenge. In all those countries, climate is affecting almost every child, woman or man. And all the livelihood are impacted on one way or the other, directly or indirectly by climate. So climate is one of the major threat to everybody in the region, which must be addressed for sustainable development.
In this meeting here in Khartoum, Sudan, an issue of Elinino is coming up so vividly. And a farmer in Uganda would love to know, or Kenya or Tanzania or any other country, what does Elinino mean to a farmer out there?
To me and to the people, if I were to advise anybody in the region, don't forget about the so-called Elinino. Because in our region, I'll explain what it is. And the reason why I tend to think that do not really be able to be worried about the word El Nino. In our region, we have floods, we have drought. Sometimes some floods are more severe than the other. Sometimes some droughts are more severe than the other. And some of the droughts are worldwide. When it occurs in Africa, it's also occurs in Asia, it also occurs in America and everywhere. There's some droughts and floods which are worldwide. So whenever this animal called El Nino normally occurs, worldwide flood normally or drought normally occur. And some of those are also observed in our region. And they are sometimes extremely extensive. The drought of 2009 to 10 to 11, floods of 97, 98, and name some of them are happening during the so-called year El Nino. And therefore, when you mention the word El Nino, people are actually thinking of the severe floods or drought which sometimes associated with El Nino. El Nino is a word which is referring to Christ child, and basically close to equatorial Pacific or within the equatorial Pacific, eastern equatorial Pacific Ocean. The temperature of the sea normally warms up starting from maybe June, May. By December, most of the region is very hot, the sea surface temperature. The fish which form the livelihood of the people in that region, there's no fish, they've rather run away or they're all killed. And by December time, when people are supposed to celebrate Christmas, in those years you have nothing, and that's why this Spanish name El Nino, Christ child, was generated to remind to the people of that region of this serious anomaly in terms of fish catch in those parts of the region. With the meteorology getting more satellite data and others, we can now prove that whenever you have a problem with that type of the world, the sea is connecting with the other parts of the sea through ocean circulation. The air is connected by air circulation, and this seems to be actually triggering a global phenomenon during these years, which is associated with too much rainfall in some areas during El Nino, and the sister is called La Nina, which actually, if you get flood during El Nino, you get drought during La Nina. And whenever you get El Nino, it's followed by La Nina. Over the last few months, we have actually been observing warming in that particular area. The warming is extending very fast, and all variables within the next 1 or 2 months is very likely that we may set up global system. By the way, El Nino does not always mean flood and drought in the region. It actually depends how the Indian Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, and air over Africa behave within that particular time. If they behave in the opposite direction, they actually can protect El Nino from affecting us. What El Nino can do in our region, it will depend on the region, circulation of wind and circulation of water in our oceans around us. And this is what we as meteorologists are observing to see.
In this case, how can someone guard against the El Nino?
How can somebody guard against floods or drought? Flood management, drought management, and flood-drought management is something which must be done within the basic climate risk management strategy or disaster risk management strategy, so that you start by defending yourself, defending the community, so that they can each individually be able to defend themselves. If they cannot defend themselves, there's a basic defense system. Then the community be able to address and stop the impacts. And if the community cannot do it, can they do it within the region itself? If the region cannot do it, then the whole government